Live.
Are live. We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good to go.
4 cameras. There's a reason we have a crowd behind us, but first we're going to start with the Sixth Amendment. And there is a good reason why. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Today marks the day of the largest, most grossest violation of the Sixth Amendment. That is all I have to say.
So we were upstairs and, I can just talk nice to you. So we were upstairs and Eric Parker was on the stand. There was another objection. The judge says, we will not be wasting any more time with this, with sidebars. Marchese asked him, so what direction you were looking? He's like, I was looking forward and up and to the right. The judge herself calls a sidebar, and Eric Parker is ripped from the stand and no longer allowed to testify. There will be no cross-examination, there will be no jury questions, and court is done for the day.
What happened to the one jury question we saw pass?
There was one jury question. I can tell you that the jurors were shocked and appalled, I hope. And one juror wrote a question, the judge read it and threw it down and walked out. I would be surprised if we come back Monday and are allowed to hear Scott Drexler take the stand. I would be surprised she doesn't call this a mistrial first thing Monday morning. Now I'm going to open this up to everyone behind me because I think we need to have everyone's opinion on exactly how this went.
Their voices.
So who's ever going to take the next one?
John, let's hear from you.
Well, here's Shauna first,
My retried 3 times. Every time they tried to raise the question, and Eric would say, who was up on the mesa with snipers pointing rifles at them, we knew that that's what was up there. He was not allowed to even mention the mesa. He wasn't allowed to mention the telescope that he had that they could see those snipers from. They said that the prosecution totally objected to everything, and everything was sustained every single time by the judge. And the problem with that is that they will not allow any of the BLM or any of the agents to be found guilty of doing anything. Even the suggestion of it says that it would absolutely create a nullification, and they are not going to allow that. They will never have it in this court.
Maybe I'll just say one thing about what Eric Parker saw. At that time, I had a set of 10 by 60 Zeiss binoculars. Anybody knows that is the top glass in the world. Not only could I see the snipers, but I could see they were in prone, and their rifles were on tripods. They were ready to go.
That wasn't allowed to be heard, though. Today is one of the most biggest gross injustices I have seen in any of these courtrooms since I've been doing court observing for multiple years. Today, they won't even let a defendant testify. He didn't get even an hour of testimony out with multiple objections on things that even he would testify and say such things as, what did you see? And he said, I seen things. He couldn't even mention the BLM trucks because they objected to it. We watched the videos of the BLM trucks. The jurors knows they were there. The jurors know that there was BLM agents there, but Eric Parker is not even allowed to talk about this stuff. There is just on and on of misconduct of this court and this judge, and today is a sad day for the American people, and there should have been more people here watching this. I'm going to pass this on to somebody else, whoever wants to say something else.
Yeah, I hope the jury sees through this. The judge and the prosecutor, they live in fear that the jury is going to know the truth. And the fact that they might nullify, that they might vote their conscience is something that they just don't want to let it happen.
It isn't a nullification, it's just innocence.
It's just, it doesn't have to be nullification, but they have to be able to use their judgment, and they can't.
And what did the judge say about nullification today? Do you recall that?
Not allowed in her court.
Not allowed.
She's not allowed to speak about it to the jury. This woman is out of control. She's letting the prosecution dictate to her what they want done, and she kowtows to them. She's inept. She doesn't even look educated. She's disgrace. This is an outrage. These defendants have not been able to help themselves or put on even the most basic defense. I came here because I kept hearing this stuff. You can't believe it unless you see it. We need more of a presence down here, and they need to know the country is watching, and they need to follow the Constitution, or at least the basic tenets, and let these people put on a defense for themselves.
And Sheila, where did you come from real quick? I'm sorry.
I came down from Eugene, Oregon 2 days ago, and it's a shame. This is a travesty and an outrage. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it myself.
Thank you.
I'm Neil Walter from Los Osos, California, Little Paradise. These judges, like Navarro, serve on good behavior for life. And it's high time a judge like Navarro is impeached and kicked off the bench. What she's been doing and perpetrating in this courtroom is absolutely outrageous and flagrant violation of any kind of fair trial. Our ability, she is dragging the U.S. justice system through the mud.
Yes.
And we are losing and developing a horrible disregard for our own justice system. They are losing our consent due to the conduct that Navarro was showing in this trial.
How would you compare her to Anna J. Brown?
Well, yes, as you folks may know, I had some experience with dear old Anna. We started calling Anna Brown the Queen of Hearts, or the Red Queen up there in Portland. But quite honestly, she's looking quite benign now compared to Navarro. But of course, Navarro has looked at our trial up there, in which myself and Ammon and the rest were all found not guilty on. And Navarro is absolutely determined to have none of that kind of thing in her courtroom. She is absolutely determined to get guilty verdicts no matter what, come hell or high water. And her bias and her teamwork with the prosecution is so absolutely flagrant that it is mind-boggling. So I'll say once again, these judges serve their time on good behavior. And Navarro very, very much so is a candidate for impeachment. Thank you.
One more thing to say. If there are any judges or anybody who is in the know about how a real trial is supposed to happen, they need to come down and do a peer review of this woman's performance.
Yes.
We need you. Also, media. You have to come in and look at this. Even if you are against the Bundys, I don't care. You need to come in and see what's happening to this system. So any judge, somebody, come do some peer review on this very much out of control judge, supposed judge.
Her court is completely broken.
I just want to go back into my notes just a little bit. And Myrie says, for Eric Parker to say, I saw BLM officers raise weapons, is not, saying that provocation is not a defense. When an officer points a gun at you, you have no right to defend yourself by pointing any gun back towards him or any other way. So a provocation from an official that we believe is not a legitimate official is no reason that you can defend yourself. And so they left no self-defense, and they said all of that would be jury nullification, and they're not going to allow that.
Now, Shannon, real quick, didn't the judge ask for other witnesses?
She did ask him for other witnesses, and they were not prepared for any other witnesses. All the witnesses that were proffered yesterday were totally stricken. They were not allowed to say anything. Even the news people that were there, Dennis Michael Lynch, Shannon Bushman, none of these guys were allowed to testify, and they're heartbroken because they want to tell the truth. We want the truth, and there is no blind justice here. There is no justice, period. This is all a railroad job to put these men into prison, and it is disgusting. Everybody here is absolutely in shock and ready to throw up. It's just sickening.
One thing we know, the truth is the government's biggest fear here.
It is.
Truth is the government's biggest fear. And I don't remember exactly the quote Ammon Bundy said, but he said something about truth is the
easiest thing to see.
And sunlight is the best disinfectant.
That's right. That's right. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. The government is fearful of the truth here, and that's exactly what we've seen here today. They don't want the truth out there. Eric Parker, Scott Drexler, these defendants were there. They should have the right to be up on that stand telling their side of it. And we've seen it. Eric Parker today got removed from the stand, and he was stunned. He was shocked. Eric Parker was crying afterwards, and he was trying to, he's a strong guy, but he's trying to fight for his life here, and he's not allowed to do that. He's not allowed to defend himself. The biggest, most grossest injustice I've ever seen in this court to the American people. We need people down here Monday morning, as many as we can get down here. We need more than 35 people. We need 100 people down here.
Just in case people don't realize the effect of all the millions of dollars that have been used on this trial, something was put into perspective for me. The judge is in control of the entire budget for the defense and the prosecution. Now, they testified that there was 410 people down in that watch. I'm sure there are many that are willing to testify, and as a matter of fact, I know there are, and they're not letting them come in. And the judge is in control of the budget of all the evidence that they can use and put through. So she's pulling all the strings here, and it's not good for our country. You need to get out here and witness it for yourself.
Definitely not a separation of powers.
All Americans. All
Americans down here. We need everybody down here Monday morning. I don't think there's, oh, you want to say something? Go ahead. Yes.
Real quick. President Washington said if freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent, they may be led like sheep to the slaughter. The American people are being slaughtered right now. They are being slaughtered.
Absolutely. Amen.
This is a question for Andrea.
I'm coming over. Come around.
I've got to say first that it's so amazing to have this many people and have all of this perspective brought out for you guys, and I'm so glad that we could experience this together. It was a very emotional time up there. What Eric was saying when he was pulled off the stand, he said, what direction were you looking? And he said, I was looking straight forward and up and to the right. What they are objecting to is he talked about snipers. There was snipers. There was someone that showed him binoculars that showed him those snipers, and
but he
was not allowed to say that. He tried at first to say he was looking at a truck of people with plain clothes. They said he could actually say that. That was objected to, sustained. And he said, well, what direction are you looking in? And he's like, I was mainly looking forward and up and to the right. Objection, sidebar, and he is taken off the stand. Is there anyone else here that would like to say what they felt or saw in there today?
Hey, do you want me to hold the camera now?
Yeah, I'd like to say what I heard today, because if I hadn't seen this with my own eyes before this happened, I wouldn't believe it. Of course, we know Andrea, everything that she shared, when you get in court, it's actually worse than she actually, said. It's absolutely amazing. Like the other day, the last trial, 14 of 16 defendants weren't allowed to testify. 14 of 16. And the government said it's because there was an ongoing investigation and they were unindicted co-conspirators, and therefore their testimony would be unreliable. And then the other day he says, oh, we've never alleged that the other people were unindicted co-conspirators. Yes, you have. And so now they've taken a different tack to keep people off the stand. They didn't just eviscerate the defense, they have completely obliterated all of it. To do this to Eric Parker should wake you up that this is no longer the America that you were raised to believe it is. This is a communist regime, and the Department of Injustice was the first takeover, and we're seeing it loud and clear right here. I hope you'll all be here Monday.
What happened to drain the swamp?
Oh yeah, no. They refilled the swamp with the same people, with the same ones that were already in there.
Drowned in the swamp.
Instead of the blue coats, it's the red coats in there now.
Does anybody else have anything?
Margaret. Yes, Margaret.
I was shocked, as I'm sure everyone else was, when the judge cut the testimony short. Eric Parker was just sitting there in disbelief, like, that's it? That's all I get to say? The judge is not letting the defense lawyers put on any defense case whatsoever. So it's unbelievable. Never seen anything like it.
No evidence either.
He doesn't. These defendants do not deserve a mistrial. They deserve a not guilty verdict from jurors of their peers, and that's not what they're allowed to hear here.
I don't even know if I can do this.
Margaret, real quickly, could you introduce yourself?
I'm Margaret Houston. I'm Cliven's sister.
You were the one assaulted, weren't you?
You're the one.
She's the one that got body slammed.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel so much love for these men. They didn't know us, which Eric was trying to tell. I didn't know them. They came because of the things that they saw. They seen me, Davy, and Ammon abused and other things, and they cannot even bring that up in court. They can't say why they came, what they saw before they came, and now we see they can't even say what they saw when they were there on that day. I mean, I'm in awe. I think we're all in shock of what we've seen and what's going on. And these good men can you spend the rest of their life in jail for coming and standing with us, not knowing us, and they can spend the rest of their lives in jail for standing up for their neighbors, and they are not getting a trial. You know what? We've always been taught. The prosecution tells their side, the defense tells their side, the jury decides if we're guilty or innocent. That is not how our courts are run now. This court, we have no defense. Our only defense, our only witness was pulled off the witness stand today. And he may be the only one. Scott may not even be able to be on there Monday. And we have no idea what's going to happen Monday.
And is it true that you're not allowed to testify in their behalf?
I'm not, no. None of us, they probably have a list of how many, probably 100 and something witnesses. They've denied everybody. The ones that were interviewed yesterday were all denied. Everyone's been denied. So Eric stands up there, tries to defend himself, and what happens? They throw him off the bench, and he can't even defend himself. So we have nothing. We have nothing now. Nothing. And we need you here Monday. We need you to be in that court to witness this and see what this judge and this prosecution is going to say on Monday morning. We have no clue what they're going to say. The jury was so upset. Some of them were really, really mad. And I seen one personally write a note, send it to the judge. She looked at it and she went and threw it on the desk.
Walked out.
And walked out.
Margaret, don't you think that some of the reason that what happened late today was because we were filling up the seats out there? Don't you think that might have been?
You know what? I don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah?
I have no clue. It's just unbelievable. That's all I can say. It's unbelievable. It's not. We are not in the America that we thought we were.
It's not even an illusion anymore.
It's not an illusion.
It's no longer an illusion.
It's not.
We've been talking for years about how it's not the same America and that this is just an illusion. This is no longer an illusion, guys. These are the facts. This is the way they're running the country. Period. It is obvious. It is in your face. This is no longer a discussion, a debate, or a topic. It's not an illusion. This is exactly the way they're running it now. They're running it by violating your rights. This is not the same as the founding fathers had written for us. The supreme law of the land is not just being chipped away at anymore. It's being eviscerated. It has been eviscerated. Those are the facts. This is not my opinion. I am not just making up another speculation from my brain. I am telling you, our freedoms are not just under attack. They have succeeded in absolutely violating us. All of us. Those men being violated right now is representative of all of us.
Absolutely. And what did they do last time when there was a mistrial? They came back at everything they could possibly do to stop them from getting another mistrial and making sure that they get a guilty verdict. And here what has happened, oh my gosh, our flags are going down. Here what has happened.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Here what has happened
is
they did everything they possibly could do, and they are still not winning. So what will they come back with? Will they come back and just say, oh, you know, they disappeared in our court, in our jail system. We don't know where they are, and we can't get them to a courtroom. What is the next step here? Because everything I have seen, they are pulling out all the stops, and the media is not here. The media is not in the room. They're not reporting on this. We are the only people out here. I started this. I knew nothing. I came here to be in trial and to tell people from Idaho. John came down and helped me and taught me everything I know and helped me get to where I am. And, you know, all of these people like Mo and like John and myself that travel around to help you get the information out. That's the only way we're doing this. That's the only way that we even know what's going on. Our Constitution is gone. If you saw BJ Sloper's video the other day when he threw the Constitution on the ground, I agree. The Constitution is no longer law of the land, and it's about, as you know,
they trot it out when it's convenient for them.
Only convenient for them.
Yeah. Exactly.
Convenient when
That's all I've got.
help them violate you further, to violate another right of yours. So a lot of times what I've seen from the elite, so to speak, is when you have a violation against one of your rights, they will use another part of the Constitution and somehow word that and twist the words of that part of the Constitution in order to help them justify the violation of your right, which is irrelevant. It's an irrelevant part of it. I've seen it over and over again. And that's exactly what we're seeing in court today. Actually, I don't even think there was any part of the Constitution being used against anybody. Just the gross negligence and violation of their rights, of all of their rights, any defense rights whatsoever, or rights to speak for oneself.
A lot of people are asking questions on how can they help. If you could put in something
love to
about
say.
InfoWars and how if everybody sent a message to InfoWars to get on top of this and stay on top of this. What do you think?
InfoWars, yes. Please come. I begged you guys last year. I don't know if you ever saw my messages. I was nobody to you. I'm still probably nobody to you. I don't care what I am. I am a person. I'm an American. I am asking for alternative media that has been doing this longer than me. I am asking for all alternative media. This is a call out, straight up, right now. I am calling out Americans to be Americans and stand here, not just to witness this, but say no more. Witness in court or stand down here with David Fleeman and protest this. I am calling out all alternative media right now. This is where you need to be. I know Antifa's not down here. I get it. I get there's other problems. I understand. But this right here is setting precedents, setting the precedents to continue to violate you, me, them, all of you. This is setting precedents. Alternative media, we need you here now. I am calling you out. You have the weekend, please. Drop everything. I'm sorry about your stories, but we need you here to cover this story. You have done better than me for years. I've been watching you for years. I have been watching you for years, and it's because of you guys that I've been inspired to do the right thing and stand by my neighbor. I was nothing, and I need you. I need all of you, because you're the only media for us. The only media that we have left. So I need you here. We need you here.
I can't believe what we have a jam-packed weekend. We're going to have some roundtable talks later tonight, and we're going to probably have some more talks tomorrow. We also have Camp Liberty with Lysander Spooner. We need everybody to show up there.
Saturday the 12th.
Saturday at 12 o'clock.
Saturday the 12th.
Saturday the 12th. What time is it?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock in the evening. Everyone's welcome. We're going to have some of the same talk, educational speakers there from all over the country, and we invite everyone there to come there and listen and learn and hear about what's happening in these courts, what's happening in other places in other people's lives. And then again Monday. So if you get here this weekend, you're welcome over there at Camp Liberty for the Lysander Spooner talk and stuff there. So everybody please come over there. Symposium, yeah. Bigger words than I'm used to saying. But, so please come. Join us there. If you can't join us there, be down here Monday morning. We're hoping and praying for a lot of people. Other than that, I think that's all we have to say. This was a jam-packed press statement, interview with everybody, and a lot of people were upset, obviously, as you just seen. Keep praying for us. Expect some more live streams here throughout the weekend about some of this same talk as we recoup from what we just found out there in the courtroom. So, I think that's it. Okay, God bless. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Share, spread, make viral.
Okay. Oh, boy, what a day. I'll wait till I get somebody on there. Oh, I got comments will appear here. No comments yet. Maybe I better turn this down so everybody can hear me. Okay. Well, I hope everybody's not burnt out and listening to everybody else. Hey, I finally got somebody. Okay, Ken, I'm going to start talking here. People, just when you think you've seen it all,
We just watched a judge have a complete meltdown at the bench. A complete meltdown. I knew she was agitated. I could see that she was really not happy, not a happy camper. Right from the get-go, as soon as I got in there, it's like something's going on. This lady is not happy. Well, who knows? But I know it's all tied into this court. That much I do know. Well, oh, I wish we could have that all on video. It was really amazing. She basically threw a tantrum. I'm sure you've all heard that she was given a question from one of the jurors, which she basically just poof, threw it down and walked out. But here's the moral of this story. If you're ever in court and snipers are pointing at you, don't look at them. If you look up and to the right, you just might see a sniper. And if you see a sniper, you can't talk about it. Even if they're pointing right at you, you cannot talk about that. You can't use that as a defense because the snipers were victims. Yeah, all the snipers, all the BLM, all the forestry department, you see, they were all victims. Oh, so sad, too bad, whatever. Anyhow, now, you know how paranoid these people are getting of John Lamb and I. Well, what happened is I saw the vehicle. There. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But anyhow, there's Department of Homeland Security. I'm going to take a different way home. I got to get away from this jamming device they have. It's here's another cop, unmarked vehicle. Okay, hopefully I'm far enough away now from that courthouse that I will not get disconnected any longer. This is really pathetic. You know, modern technology is a great thing, but it should never be used for that. Anyhow, I went to the back of the courthouse a little prematurely, and I saw the police were all setting up there with their lights. And so I called John real quick on the phone and said, John, they're getting ready to take them out here. And we've been trying to catch that on video for some time. I wanted to have them go right by me so I could blow the trump and the shofar, because it's going to sound really loud in those vehicles. Well, every time they see us back there, they either change their direction or they wait till we leave. They don't, you know, they don't want us to be there at that time. So I called John. I said, they're getting ready to come out here. Well, I was kind of hiding the best I could behind a vehicle. Guess what? The cop gets out of his vehicle, walks until he can see me, runs back to his vehicle. Obviously, he said they're here. We're going to go out someplace else. So, you know, come on. This is, I'm going to tell you what, you've heard it all today. I think it's far worse than even what you heard. It's a terrible thing. Our country is, I'm going to say we lost our rights. Because if she gets away with this is mind-boggling. This is so over the top, so beyond the pale. It's crazy. Well, the pressure's getting to her, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. She's being directed, and I'm willing to say she's being threatened too. She's not a good judge, so she's being manipulated. I truly believe that she's being manipulated. When you sit and watch her during the course of these trials, she's always looking at something. A lot of times she's looking at her computer. Sometimes I think maybe her notes. She'll cock her head. I swear to heck, I think they got a device in her ear, and that you've got a whole bunch of people somewhere that's watching this whole thing. And I know they're watching it in another room, and I'll tell you why. There was one of the FBI agents, well, he could be U.S. Marshal. I'm not really sure about him. He's a Samoan guy, and he's actually pretty nice. I fell asleep for just a few minutes in that courtroom. Okay, he was not in there. I'm very observant, despite falling asleep for a few minutes, but I look at everybody that's in there. I make a mental note who's there. He was not in there. Well, we time out for break. We went out for a break. We were kind of talking. We were talking about how boring the judges and the prosecution goes, yeah, I saw you fall asleep. So, oh, really? Okay. I know for a fact you guys are watching everything. So there's probably another room where you'll have a panel of government attorneys that are all brainstorming, and then they talk, and this is my theory, grant you, and I think they're talking to her when she's in there. And I know they're taking a lot of preoperative moves, because I don't know how many questions they've accepted from the jury. It's got to be somewhere between 100 and 150. And have you ever heard of such a thing? No, I have never heard of such a thing. I have never seen such a thing, obviously, but I've never heard of it. It's crazy. Well, this is the government's way of polling the jury. Now, everything started going bad almost from the get-go. If you look at some of my other live streams, some of my other videos, I was saying this is going bad right from the get-go. In fact, earlier I said this is over with. I said I'll stick my neck out. I don't know, maybe even as far as 2 weeks ago. Let's see, battery temperature too high. Okay, I gotta take this out of here. Whoops. Okay, sorry about that. My phone is so hot. It's 109 degrees out here right now, so I took it down. I'm putting it in front of the air conditioning vent in the vehicle. Otherwise, it's just going to shut down on us. So I apologize for that. We can blame that on Mother Nature, or we can blame it on God. I don't know. We'll blame it on somebody. Let's see what I got here. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any questions. Oh, anything? Okay, I don't see offhand, but my eyes aren't that good. Anyhow. There's something going on here, folks, that is historical. There's no doubt about it. This is historical. And, you know, I want everybody to be part of history. And you can show up here Monday. Now, here's what's going to happen Monday. I really believe she's just going to declare a mistrial. This thing's gone south on her. Oh, that's what I was talking about before. This thing started going bad from the get-go. And this is typical of the federal government. This is typical of judges. This is typical prosecuting attorneys. They're disconnected. They're not connected with the average person. They're just not. They think they're special. And you know, this is what I call. Man, I don't know who's doing this to me. Sorry about that. This is what I call the infallibility doctrine. They think they're infallible. They think they are somehow extensions of God, and that whatever they say goes. And this judge, she has violated every Bill of Rights, every civil right there is for these men. Every one, top to bottom. I mean, I can show you every single one in some way, shape, or form. Okay? So, it was crazy. Our jaws just hit the floor. The jury, oh my gosh, the look on their face, they were like, what the hell just is going on here? What just happened? Eric Parker put his hands up like he didn't know what was going on. She threw him off the stand because he said, I looked up and to the right. Well, we do know that's where snipers were, but he didn't elaborate. He didn't say any more than that, okay? And at that time, it was over with. When he gets down from the stand, he's in shock. He really is. He's stunned. His eyes immediately began to water up. I could tell he was indignant. I could tell that he would have loved to just start screaming at the top of his head. To his credit, he did not do that. He walked in front of the jury, and he just looked at the jury. I couldn't see his facial expression when he was looking at the jury, but he walked all the way in front of the jury with one of the marshals behind him, shooing him along, some young punk, shooing him along, like he was important. You know, Eric Parker is like 1,000 times more important than this guy is at this time. Eric Parker goes over to his seat, sits down, and the tears start to flow. He puts his hands in his face and he buries his face. And his attorney is patting him on the back. Marchese, he was very disturbed also. It was very evident from his face, the look on his face. He's been very upset the last 2 days that he told the judge, how you're taking everything away from me to defend my client. He said that repeatedly. He said, how can I defend my client with what you're doing here? Every one of the proffered witnesses from yesterday, she struck them. We got 0 witnesses this time. 0. Except for Eric Parker himself, and then she throws him off the stand. All right? I don't know how it can get much worse than that. So Eric Parker buries his hands in his face, bends over, and is weeping. And the jury sees all of this. The jury sees every bit of this. And the jury has already been insulted. The jury has been discredited in the minds of this judge and the prosecution, and disrespected immensely. And none of this is lost on the jury. It is so obvious now. It's not lost on the jury. They were mortified what they just saw. In fact, she basically had to shoo him away. She kept saying, "You're dismissed until Monday. You're going home early." They just sat there. They sat there for the longest time. I think they were like, you know what, Judge, if I could read their mind, you're full of bullshit, Judge. Prosecution, you're full of bullshit. And we're on to you. We are on to you. So, you know, one of the things, I don't always agree with everybody that's one of the court observers, but one of the court observers said something that, man, I agreed with 100%. And his name is Doug Knowles. And he said, this was the best thing that could happen. And I agree. I think this was the best thing that can happen. Now, I'm willing to bet good money Monday, the whole thing, the case is going to be dismissed. I'm willing to bet that, okay? Because this jury is going to acquit every one of them. Well, now what's going to happen? How do you go back? That'll be the 3rd time they're going to try these guys? How do you justify that? And I'm not even talking from a monetary standpoint. I'm not even talking from a legal standpoint. I'm talking from a moralistic standpoint. And I've said this over and over and over again. If they keep trying these guys, eventually you're going to get the jury you want. I mean, because here's what's so dramatically bad about what's going on here. They only need to convict them on 1 of the 10 charges. And there's some very minor ones. And my biggest fear is they want to throw the feds a bone. Well, we'll just convict them on 1 little thing. Well, look what happened last time with Todd Ingalls. 2 little minor charges. He's looking at 20, 30 years. You can't give the feds anything because they have these minimum sentencing guidelines. You can't give them anything. The federal court system has turned into well, we've been saying it's broken. It's a monster. That's all it is. It is a monster amongst us, and it wants to feed off of us. And that's one quick little point I want to make before I hang up, because I know you guys have heard all of this stuff with Andrea and John Lamb, but I'm really trying hard not to be angry, because I realize these type of demonic people feed off of anger. They feed off of your fear. They feed off of your hate. They feed off of any negative emotion. All right? And I don't even want to give them that much. And it's such a natural thing to be so insulted, so angry for what's going on to these men. And it's a real struggle. It's a real struggle not to find myself in a fit of rage. And it really hit me last night after yesterday. I said, you know what? I got to change my attitude. As hard as it is, and it's something that I'm struggling with, and we're all going to struggle with it. But you know, we can't even let them make us angry, because you know what? That's a victory for them, and we can't even give them that much. Okay, God bless everybody. Please, if you can make it here Monday, you'll be a part of history. I think we had a lot of people. I eventually counted 28 people just on our side in the court, and we probably had a half a dozen people outside. So people are coming. People are coming from out of state. There's people that work nights and come here and spend most of their day to see what's going on as court observers, and then they go to work and then when they get home, they get a few hours sleep and they're coming out. So there are people that are sacrificing, and so if you can find your way here, please come. Please come. It definitely has an effect on the court proceedings. You know, when that judge looks out there and sees all those people, and she knows we're not on her side. And you know, when you fill those pews from top to bottom and from side to side, in the particular side that we're sitting, because we all try to sit on one side, we can sit on one side until it fills up, then we go to the other side. But when she looks out and she sees those pews packed, believe me, that bothers her. That bothers her. Because now we're looking at true democracy, you know, where the people are against that one judge, and it bothers her. It bothers her a lot. I noticed even the prosecution will sometimes turn around and look at us and eye us up and down, and obviously there's things that is going through their head, and I think those things are, damn, I wish these people would just leave so we can go ahead and convict these people. The jurors look at us all the time, more so now than ever before. They've been watching us, and I think that, you know, they've drawn accustomed to us. They realize why we're there. They realize that we are good people. You know, they get to see children on our side many times, couples, even complete families sometimes, and that's one reason why I wear my Jewish garb. All right, you know, if I was a Catholic priest, I'd be wearing that. I just want them to see that there is, let's just say, a man of the cloth, a spiritual representative that is in those pews. I think that's important. I've been a couple times. I've actually been harassed about it. Too bad. It is what it is, and I am what I am. And I don't care. You can harass me all day long. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to argue with you. If you see this, I'm going to continue to wear the prayer shawl. All right? I think that pretty well sums it up. It was stunning today. Yeah, I mean, even Anna J. Brown didn't do that. I'll tell you what, Anna J. Brown is a good judge compared to Gloria Navarro. Gloria Navarro is a joke. She has been manipulated. She's being controlled, and today she really looked like it. In fact, she looked like she hadn't slept all night. So I don't know if she might have got a call and said that she better get these people convicted. Okay, see you Monday, 9 o'clock. God bless everybody. Amen.